Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, sorry about that. My Discord screws up sometimes when I like go in and out of replays, so it can, yeah, it gets a little rough sometimes. But would you like to introduce yourself? Give the stream just a little bit of a explanation on who you are and what you do?
Sure. Hello, my name is Selenity. I am a Heroes of the Storm streamer. I'm one of the spotlight streamers for Heroes of the Storm Blizzard, and I'm a part of the stream team of Team Dignitas. Currently, I'm high plat, low diamond. I just kind of always sit high plat, low diamond. I flex, but I prefer DPS. And yeah, my favorite character is Li Ming.
Yes, right on, right on. Okay, so this is a Hero League game, right?
Yes.
Okay. What do we have to look out for here? Biggest problems I see just right out of the gates is the fact that you'll have to dodge Kerrigan combos. Not the biggest issue, but aside from that, your all-ins suck because they have double blinds against you. Like, there's so many squishy targets. You can all in onto Sylvanas, you can all in onto Lily, you can all into like anyone except for Johanna, obviously, but you have to
I
be...
wish it showed draft because I would like help in the drafting. I think I was one of the first picks. That's why I went Greymane.
Yeah.
I think our Zul'jin later kind of tilts one of our teammates. But I think just in general, drafting is kind of difficult. Like, I get the gist of like, oh, pick a good hero on the map first, and then pick a counter, and then pick a tank and a healer, so that the last pick is like someone who can fill and counter the enemy team. But it doesn't always work that way in Hero League. It's kind of like people want to play what they want to play.
It's very true. And especially the point that you bring up, like you said that you picked your hero because he is strong on this map, but you can the only thing you can tell your teammates is, hey, please don't pick crazy stuff. So like, I don't know when this Zul'jin came in, but this is
I think it was him and me picking right after this. So I think Syl picked first, if I remember correctly, and then it was myself and Zul'jin.
and he just rips it that early, eh? Because that's... And then, yeah, they obviously just counter it with blinds because he's a heavy auto attack hero. So that's like the problem. Perfect example. You can't really pick Zul'jin that early because then that's something that they can do. They can just run a Johanna or a Lily. And while I'm not a huge advocate of Lily, it's still, you have the blinds against a hero where most of his damage is basic attacks, then he just completely gets shut down. So this is... Okay, so they are just fully cheesing. Against a Sylvanas, and this is something that you could do in an organized environment, but now that we have voice comms, this is actually something you can say. When you're playing against a Sylvanas whatsoever, you want to be positioned in a place on the map that allows you to get to the Sylvanas cheese fastest. So on BOE, you actually want your warrior around this bush and the rest of your team just floating around here. Just in case, because if they show top, this is the fastest rotation. The fastest rotation if they show top, right? And if they show bottom, again, then you're fast on bottom. It's a little bit... I wouldn't say disrespectful, but it's, what's the right word? You allow them to do this by going bottom because now they just take this entire wall and there's nothing that we can do about it. But if you're at least here, you can rotate and find them and actually do something about it. So like example on Cursed Hollow, because it's a 3-lane map, you would want to position out of vision mid against the Sylvanas until Sylvanas is represented on the map. And always out of vision, because if you show, if like 3 of your teammates show bottom side on a wall or on a minion wave, then Sylvanas just all of a sudden pops out top with 4 other people, and it's like, oh, okay, well, they just get a fort now, you know?
Makes sense, makes sense.
Okay, so they don't get the full wall, but you get a bunch of it. Okay, so watching you. What build are we? Viciousness.
Is that your recommended first talent?
It's kind of like the EU go-to on this map. I personally like Wolfheart a little bit better. Okay, hold on. I gotta watch this again. And this is kind of what I mean. You're all in. You can't all in right away against this. And this is something that you can look at their comp and realize it. Because the double blinds, there's no way you out-trade them.
Yeah, I got caught in that W from Johanna, and then the combo of Kerrigan, and then I used my dog form to get out of it all.
My dog form.
Yeah, you know, the wolf.
Yeah, no, I feel... Dark
the puppy
flight.
form.
Yeah, no, it's good. My dog form. Okay, so here all you have to do is auto attack Johanna, but stay out of condemn. Yeah, and that's all it is. You walking into that just allows Kerrigan to get a free combo on you. And here I would have actually just backed instead of tapping.
What if I had backed and then the enemy team now sees that it's a 5v4 and engage, like hard engage on my team?
They wouldn't know this because watch, out of vision, okay, out of vision, and they already show that they're backing up. So now watch, you're still out of vision, you're still channeling your back. You don't even show on this, I don't think, do you? Okay, now you do. So I don't think you showing up here is the reason why they don't push in. I think their health bars are the reason. So they actually walk back, they tap, and then they walk back in, and the minion waves are neutral. They're now resetting mid because you cleared on your side. So you would have already been probably here if you would have backed and walked. It's just the state of where the minion wave was. Here, we can actually just look at it again more in depth. So like, watch. You back up here, but their wave is crashing in, and they already back off. So right here, you can start channeling your back and just watch what the enemy team is doing. You know, if they're pushing in, all of a sudden Black Arrow ends up on your fort or your tower, and you're like, holy crap, okay, maybe they're actually going to push in, then you can tap and then stay. But if they're actually all just walking away like this, and you know that the minion waves are about to be reset because they just pushed into you, and that's just what the minion waves do, then you know that you have a free time to back. It's not the end of the world, but it's just something a little bit different that you could do, because then you'd make sure that you have your tap for maybe something a little bit later. But and here I think it's just got to work a little bit more on making sure we don't get hit by the Johanna. I think this is good. Even though it's, you know, it doesn't really do much. See what I mean by these freaking blinds? Oh, it's awful. Okay, so this is all you've got to do. Stay autoing. You can't really do it right now because she just blinds you and it sucks, but...
And then Lily, just the follow-up blind.
Yeah. But stay auto-attacking and stay in human form. Just kind of feel out the fight a little bit. You just stay here. You can splash your Q onto the backside. Maybe you just throw a few autos at this Li Ming. You can E her right now, but don't all in her. So like E...
Yeah, I eat her because she was way out of position.
Yeah, and
like,
that's fine.
She was way far out. And then I do end up getting out alive, but the follow-up is hard because Zul'jin just gets blinded as well.
Yep.
And then I'm blinded too, so then we can't really do anything.
See, like, what I see to this is you guys... Okay. Ooh, this is actually really good. Thank you for submitting this one, because this is so important. You have amateur opponent, I'm assuming, please, for the love of all that's holy. Yeah, okay. You have amateur opponent. You have Greymane. How does your opponents ever get an immortal?
Oh, you'll see.
No, but like,
don't underestimate Plat.
But this is like this is what I want to show you. They can never out trade you guys when it comes to racing. So then the only thing that they can do is have sustained team fights in lanes. They have multi blinds for all of our damage. They have sustained healing in the Lili. We have sustained too, but their sustain's better than ours because they have blinds for all of our damage. So if they get these sustained fights and these long lanes, they actually win out. If all we do is AFK at our base, and I know I'm saying it kind of troll, but literally like don't try to force any fights on them. For the entire first 3 minutes of this game, we win. Okay, so that didn't end up being too bad. Wow, what is wrong with my hotkeys? Yeah, I was gonna say here you just gotta mount up. Oof. See, like, this is insane. There's no way he should be looking for that. There we go. Isu. I think there you could have gone in on Sylvanas, but all I really care about is just proving the point that you guys will You guys lose this quote-unquote laning phase. Yeah, you could have all-in onto Sylvanas there.
See that one now. I was looking at the Johanna because I was going to pounce on her until she used her D. Yeah. And then I didn't. I started just attacking the wave again, waiting.
And even so, I don't think you kill Sylvanas, but it's still important to highlight those sort of things.
That was a miscommunication, or I think I could have been there for like a secured kill.
Yep, absolutely.
Maybe. I don't know, Johanna's still blinds and unkillable. But I was going for the camp.
30 HP? Are you kidding me right now? But yeah, no, absolutely. This is probably something in voice comms that happened, right?
I don't even know if half of them are on voice comms.
Oh yeah, true.
So I saw the Sylph back, or I assumed it, because she had like no health but somehow lived. So I just kind of was taking this camp really quickly.
Can I tell you something? And I know it probably sounds stupid, but I'm a huge advocate of this. This right here is practice for you. Mechanical practice. Why are you just standing in one spot auto-attacking? Because you can be orb walking, or sorry, stutter stepping around this thing and just practicing your mechanics.
True. I do that with the ranged, but you're right. I could be doing it with the melee too. I
know it sounds silly, and you know maybe sometimes you'll like miss out on a little bit of damage min-maxing, but it helps you get better mechanically as a player if you're exercising that. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, okay. This is good. This is just basically your target selection and I think a little bit of tunnel vision. Let's have a look. So I think
I get like kind of like I can't go backwards because there's 3 enemy team behind me, so I can only go forwards.
I say forwards is to the right. Look at where
like Lily... right here, right now, instead of going for the Johanna, turning around.
100%. Yeah, she's look where she is. She's at like the 75% mark on the wave. You just go right here. Stukov auto attacks one time. She's down to the G. Look where she is. She's insane.
You're right.
And then you just fight in here. If Kerrigan tries to combo you, you have the quick E out. But yeah.
P-O-G-G-E-R-S.
Please. Yes. But yeah, that's all. I think just switching your focus there, because this is a couple times now where we're focused really heavily onto Johanna. Nice. Okay, that ends up being perfect. And we get race. Excellent. Wait, you're telling me we lose this game?
Yeah, we lose it hard. Hard.
The conviction is so good. Okay. Grace. No way, really? Oh my, sweet.
They got hit by the combo.
Oh yeah.
It was like, ooh, I think everyone dies here but me, and I can't do anything because I have like no health. So maybe it's another thing of I should have been targeting something different.
Oh, this is Ali OBS. It actually worked this time. Oh, my hotkeys. We got cinematic look. Okay. That's the talents for everyone asking. I swear we stay in human form here, but it doesn't change the fact that everybody just gets absolutely bodied. So I'm just focusing on you here, and you don't get comboed, you don't die, and that's all that matters. Your team in general should have just backed off a little bit and just waited. You back off. Actually, I'm going to ask you, how do you play this? How do you win this Immortal?
Well, just poke it with a ranged form. But the problem is, I guess I can't really ping with my mouse, can I? I don't think so. Where I'm standing right now, that's where Johanna will just be pacing back and forth. So we could have gone around to where like Zul'jin is. But any tight corridor is just like asking for Kerrigan to combo you. And there's like 4 tight corridors right around this Immortal.
Totally. The way you can do this is back off completely. You guys can even start your bruiser camp, but wait for something to represent on the map. Wait for false dead to show top. Wait for damage to start going onto your Immortal. Wait for some information that says that there isn't 5 stacked on the Immortal. And if that's true, then you guys can move in. But until that happens, you're not really allowed to, like, you're just having a honest, even 5v5 under their immortal, and that's never the right play on BOE. So, like, it just, I know there's nothing that you can do personally about this, but I just wanted to say that that is how you guys win this trade.
No, yeah, I still appreciate, like, that kind of advice too, because then that's something I could bring to comms. I mean, they weren't in comms in this game, but there are games where people are on comms.
Exactly, and then you can say that sort of thing.
Any coaching at all is useful.
Excellent. Okay, a little bit behind, but I'd... Actually, no, we're all dead. Yeah, and Johanna just chills, so we just lose this now. We don't. We get it. I'm pretty sure they could have just raced and won. Am I wrong? With Johanna blinds on you? Maybe not. Their damage... See, and this is what I mean. Their damage onto the Immortal is so atrocious. The combo could have dodged with a Q. Okay, so we end up getting it. That's good. But just trade too much. I'm just looking at this one more time. Sorry.
I think I knew I was dead, so I tried to kill Sylve with me.
Yep.
But I got blinded, or she got healed by the Lily, and she ends with like barely any health.
Oh, you actually do try to Q away from it too. Yeah, and you can't Q this way because there's an Immortal stun circle, so it's kind of stuck between a Kerrigan combo and a hard place there.
Yeah. So right here, Joe puts me in a position that I'm like, I'm dead. So I try to go for the Sylve.
Yep. And I think that's fine. All right. Sucks that we died, but it's not the end of the world. And you guys scale so much better into the late game. Something worth mentioning too. You got the Diablo, his 13-16 is insane. I don't understand why Kerrigan's top and not false dead, but it's okay. Jeez, these blinds are absolutely obnoxious. Oh, I see something.
Should I have just ran, never turned around, ran straight?
No, I'll tell you. So, what's the best way to survive on Greymane? Going into...
To go into a wolf form and
dog
E out.
form, exactly.
Yeah.
So, right here, boom, instantly E onto Johanna. Because if you E onto her and then you Q away, you're already further away than you would be if you just try to run. That should, like, almost always be your immediate instinct when you're trying to escape something as Greymane, as you get into pooch form. Got him. Right there. Boom. Instantly E. As soon as I see that condemn come in, I'm like, okay. Alright, it's time to be a good boy. Yeah, and then just run left. And you would have escaped. It's funny how that always comes back. I remember a couple, actually no, like months ago, I was doing a Greymane replay with actually a Grandmaster Greymane, and that was like my biggest complaint, or biggest point of analysis, I suppose I should say, instead of complaint. That's not really how I do things here, but it just, the fact that he would never, ever go into wolf form when he was in moments where he needed to escape, and it's so important. Jesus, Sylvanas. Yeah, hard engage, absolutely. Really need Diablo to try to fight here. That's not good. These blinds are actually the worst thing on the planet.
It's also that Diablo can only really reach the Johanna, but then I don't want to just attack a Johanna. Like, she's not gonna die. So that's why, like, he pushed the Johanna towards us, but I didn't necessarily target the Johanna.
Yeah.
She has like 5 million ways of living. I don't know, maybe I should have instead, but I'm trying to reach some sort of backline.
See, my thing is, I don't think you guys honestly get this camp for free, and you hard commit to the camp in wolf form right away. I say you just kind of watch and spend a little bit more time, because you jump into fights right away in wolf form. Like, look, you're already in there. You're in there. But I'd like to see you spend a little bit more time just gauging the situation and reading the team fight. Because watch this. If all we're doing right now is we pop our inner beast and we just auto attack and wait. Boom. Now we splash our Q onto the Johanna, onto this backline. That's quite a bit of damage, right? And just feed a few auto attacks in here and just watch the fight.
You just stay in human form until like really need the wolf form, right?
Exactly. Just watch how things evolve. Because right now you're still auto attacking Johanna, and maybe she's actually down to the A in health because of all of your human auto attacks, and they would be down a little bit further because of your Q splash, but you're still just reading this fight, okay? And you're reading this fight a little bit better. Walking away, you have still full health because they have no access to you, and now you can actually fight in, like, if you Q E auto Q auto onto Doomclaw, he dies. But you know, we're not sure exactly where this team fight ends up if you play it a little bit differently, but I would like to see you spend a little bit more time just reading team fights. Because, yeah, right now you just hard commit wolf form, and then as soon as this happens, you walk right in. Yeah, I actually think you can win this quite handily if you guys just play it a little bit differently. Okay, they're level 10. And we have defensive spawning. That's always the worst.
We were so split.
Yeah.
I didn't even know where I could even walk that would mean live.
I don't think you should even... This is the crappy part of the replay. Because I have to be completely honest and say that you can't team fight here. Like, because you guys are fighting down 2 levels and they have heroic tier advantage. It's really unfortunate that the aggressive spawning for the Immortals is here when you're behind, because what you want is... Or sorry, defensive spawning. You want aggressive spawning Immortals when you're behind so that you have the opportunity to race and it's in a safe spot. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I think
what my team decided was we were behind, but if we let Sylve get it, we were going to be behind even more. I think that's why they like went for it. Because Zul'jin and I originally were down in that bot lane just trying to soak. And Artie was top trying to soak. That's why we're all late to the Stukov Diablo, who are already at the Immortal.
Yep. I see that logic for sure. I think the smartest thing to do is give 50 and then try to race post 50, depending on where it spawns. But then you risk so heavily. Like, what happens if if you guys are all represented bottom side and then defensive spawn bottom, and then they have the same circumstances. So this is like a lose-lose-lose situation. But we can maybe have a look to see how... Okay. Oh, man. This is a tough one. I don't know what more to say about this one.
I remember this game being really tilting. But I chose it because I think there were a lot of things I could have done better.
Yep.
Or just like... I think also, what I wrote on that submission form thingy was that help with like coming back from a loss. Like when your level's down, when there's like, for instance, an Immortal and you're not 10, but they have a Sylve, like I've seen it. There are ways to come back from stuff like that.
Yep. The biggest thing is you have to get yourself in a situation where you can actually fight them. And right now you guys can't fight them because you don't have level 10. That's the big problem. So like it's actually just like an XP issue. If I were you in all of this, wait, do I have to back up that much? Okay, so when you walked up and tried to join the team fight, I would have just stayed bottom and cleared another wave and started focusing on the fort. No joke. Because you have to hit level 10 or else you just lose the game.
Say I did that, but then I like, when I see all my teammates dying and I can't exactly start seeing where the enemy team is anymore, when would I like turn back to Hearth? Like, how do I know I could get out of that situation alive? Because I would be well on their side of the map when they're all on practically our camp, because that's where the Immortal was. They could easily all rotate down to kill me, seeing that I wasn't with the team after they killed a couple of my teammates.
They could. I would start leaving as you started seeing the deaths coming in. Because at least that way you would have gotten 2 extra minion waves. And I know it doesn't seem like a crazy amount, but you guys were...
But it is an important amount. Would you go down to the bush, like directly to the south, and then just Hearth there as soon as you see like the first death?
Yep. Honestly, I would probably just like Q down E as wolf form, like back and Hearth like here. Probably. Because if you're the enemy team and you walk down, you're not going to walk this way to look for Greymane. You're going to walk this way, or you're going to check this bush. Always. Unless they're like super in your head and they're like, I think Greymane is trying to dupe me. But yeah, I don't think that would happen. This is a very tough situation. What you want to do is hit level 10. That's it. It's the only thing in your mind. The camp is a nice consolation prize, but this is a full shield Immortal. Yep. Here you are focusing on the wave. Good. You guys just really need the level 10. And honestly, I don't think you just straight up lose the game here. You lose a lot of momentum, but then at least you get heroic fights later on. Okay, level 10's here, but nobody picks their heroic except for you.
And I get the kill with that heroic.
Yep.
I don't know if I should have gone the other heroic because Johanna was such a nuisance, but I figured they're all so low all the time and we're constantly getting blinded. If I could just bite them with Go for the Throat, then it would be worth.
No, Go for the Throat is 100% the right choice here.
Already I don't know if I had a Q there, I probably would have Q'd the wall to get that false dead.
This is good. I cannot believe this. This is so bad, everybody. Like, this is so bad. You were doing the right thing here, just focusing on the Immortal.
This is where they were like, no, turn back to fight. So I like turned to fight, but then nothing was coming of it. So then I was trying to reach the Immortal again. So I don't know if maybe I should have just straight committed to the Immortal or kept going forward with the fight, because there was like confusions in what we
I think everyone should just be kiting back with the Immortal and focusing on it. You don't have to fight past. Unless this Diablo, like, we can watch it, but it basically all stems down to what Diablo does. So like, where is it here? Yeah. So if Diablo APOC combos, then yeah, you can fight. He could do it onto Sylvanas right now. RQE on top of her. And likely she dies. And then at that point you can actually just like peel off and get a couple auto attacks in. But yeah, or onto false dead.
Yeah, my ulti was down though because I had to use it to kill Joe.
I mean, that's fine. If Diablo lands an RQE combo onto Sylvanas right now,
you're saying Diablo do RQE.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Sorry, I thought you meant I was like, yeah, but I don't have it.
Yeah, and he's got APOC up and everything, but I like, this isn't how you find engagements with Diablo. You actually have to rip your combo and go in. But if he did that, then yes, absolutely. I think you walk away and you walk away from the Immortal and then you follow up on the kill. But as it is, absolutely not. You can't just like walk in and trade because your team has no catch. If Diablo catches someone and you don't follow up and it's a missed kill, then yeah, I would say, hey, you gotta make sure you're following up with your warrior engages. But he didn't even look for an engage. So I think it's much smarter what you did. Yes, this is a good choice. Ooh, Kerrigan DC'd.
Oh my god, that's extremely sad. Oh no, she came back. Let's say that they win with a bot.
Holy. So they're fighting us over a camp pre-13 when they just showed top. Seems pretty insane, but I guess they get down here fast enough. Sorry, I'm watching this one more time.
It's okay. We get pulled, and as we're getting pulled by Kerrigan, we get gusted and then pulled. So it's like literally like rubber banding.
See, I was gonna say you commit for the camp, but I think you have to, so that's good. There.
At that point, there was a 4v2 technically.
Exactly. So
he popped the gust, which is what saved them.
You gotta get out of this fight and start just auto attacking in human form. In there. Jeez. Okay. Okay, you did do it right.
What did I do right?
Whenever you engage like that, it's always human auto, then E. And I noticed that a lot of people just E. Because you can E like as your human auto goes off, so it's just higher damage. Always. Okay, we're still in this. I don't know what the dude's doing, but... Oh no, are you kidding me?
I know that the W or the whatever rotating hammer on Joe stops it.
So troll.
Which wastes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder if I should have just tapped instead of hearthing.
Yeah, at that
point. But I
point,
wanted to
probably
save the tap for the midway point on the Immortal because sometimes I really need that mana back.
Yeah, no, that's good. You guys didn't lose too much. This is actually good. As long as the fight takes place. Okay, see, I hate this.
They're literally whiffing ults and we still lose. Like the anti-synergy that they have, but we get like... We don't have a focused target besides Johanna, because that's all Diablo's always on is the Johanna. But none of us want to hit the Johanna because she blinds us all.
But even you, like, watch where you go. There's one very obvious place for you to go in this team fight where your team benefits. You're down.
Should it have been down to Joe?
Absolutely, yeah. You're down a talent tier. You want if you fight them at all, which you don't want to do because you're down a talent tier. You want it to be under your Immortal for highest chance of the Immortal just absolutely screwing with your opponents. But then watch, like we fight in the lane instead, or like in this area.
In the crevice.
Yeah. Which right here, this is an excellent time in our lives. They just disengaged and used all their heroics. Now we just walk in through this bottom part. And then make sure we defend. You can even just go clear top wave while we wait.
Maybe I should have done that.
I would have absolutely. Oh yeah, no. This is right here. Boom. Off this, I would have mounted up and just went right on this wave, or just watch what they do. Because actually going on the wave means they push in and do more damage. But when you see this, immediately go onto the wave and clear it because you need that level 13. Yeah, because right now we're just wasting time and hoping that trickle XP comes in. Oh, this is so scary.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't even anywhere important. I should have been cleaning that lane. I was just kind of walking, waiting to see where they would appear.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Okay, now we're 13. Artanis is coming in. This is it right here, folks. This is all I don't know what Diablo is doing. We're 13. This is hurting my feelings. I'm sorry.
This is Plat.
Okay. The boy Hemi's in there. Oh, and the Immortal hooks it up. Like, just use APOC. Use your combo, please. I mean, there's like, okay, you were having to just...
I'm deciding to follow Artie or Diablo. Like, I don't know where to be. But frankly, I really don't know where I should have been.
Okay. Well, this is a tough one just because it's really hard. Like, you made the mistake in not clearing the wave. That's something that we can actually just say because it's true. Yeah. And that's fine. But something like this, like, I shouldn't have to say that you have to dictate the circumstances of this team fight exclusively by yourself because your warriors refuse to engage. I shouldn't have to say that, but that's actually the truth here. So if I were to watch this replay and not know how my warrior plays this, I would say wait for Diablo to find to engage and then follow up off that target. But like right now, you could kind of just be walking in and auto-attacking on the side here and doing damage that way. But I just don't understand why Diablo doesn't use anything. And that's the biggest problem here, is we just have to force a fight. Like right here, this is a wall stun onto Kerrigan. And there's another wall stun onto Kerrigan. Full combo, RQE, she's dead. 100%. And then watch this, it happens again. Right there, there's a wall stun onto Falstad, RQE, dead. Here's a wall stun onto Lily, RQE, dead. Actually, you just need to RQ here and she dies. But, and then you can follow up from here. There's so many different ways we could just win this.
I know. I mean, maybe that Diablo doesn't tank and he was forced to with the selfish Jhin picking. I was selfish and I picked a DPS early on. But I don't play tank that well, so I don't think me being a tank would have changed anything.
Okay. Well, he finds a pretty big one here. But then, like, your teammates have already just kind of said, eh.
Yeah, we had no idea that what's happening or anything.
Oh, no, you
misplayed. She lives through this.
Because you misplayed.
Die. Whoa. Tell me how.
Watch.
Fix it.
Watch this. Wait, yeah, this is a... Where are we? Right here?
Ooh,
He rips it, and then we come down. So you E, and then you need to auto, Q, auto, auto, alt. Auto. Yeah, and you just R right away. You miss the one auto attack. And then the last one comes in when she gets shielded.
Before the R.
Yep.
Yeah. That would have also probably evaded that Lily blind too.
Assuming you don't get blinded there. That's... But
I think I could have gotten an auto in before the blind, because then I could have gone for the throw, which isn't blinded.
You're right. But what I wanted to say was, I think that after you make them all walk away like this, you could just like sit on the Immortal and race it. But that was under the assumption, or that was after I found out that your Diablo doesn't find anything. Like find and engage. Exciting.
Tricky.
Okay. Well, that was a little tragic. And now they get a keep? Actually, no, I see the timer. They get the game. Dang it! Okay. Your goal is just to poke down this Immortal as best as you can.
So right there, I should have just backed up and eaten the stun on the Immortal. Because I walked forward to dodge the Immortal stun. But maybe I should have walked back and eaten the stun. Because that's why Kerrigan lands the combo on me.
Yeah, let's look at this. One auto.
Right there.
Oh yeah, you walked forward.
Maybe I could have just kept walking, but I was stutter stepping, and then when I saw the circle, I was like, I'm way in the middle of it. Yeah. So then I chose to go forward to go backwards.
Yep. You could actually just go left and then auto attack in here to keep up your W. I think that would have been the best. Because backwards means backwards is also safe, but then you're not able to auto attack. Not really the end of the world, but Yeah, so you could have went left there instead of...
Do you think I would have made it in time? Should I have just gone right instead of forwards? I didn't go backwards because Zol Jin was like in my space, so then I went forwards.
In my space?
Yeah, I mean, he frankly was like right here. He's gonna be in my space again. I agree. I was like, oh, excuse me.
Yeah, well, you're
and then I'm like, he's walking towards me, and I'm like, so then I start walking forwards. Then
any direction you can go. You can go. I would say left or up, though. Personally, I think that's best. Right? You suffer you run the risk of body blocking being a problem.
Yeah.
But I'd say left or I'd say left is just the best because then you can actually just get an auto attack here to keep up your
right there.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the bottom, and I'm like, where do I go? Where is he going? So then I turn back forwards, and that is why she lands that and kills me.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think either left or up. I really do think the biggest problem this game has been just your team not engaging anything when you have the opportunity to do so. Especially once you all hit level 13 and you were fighting over there. That was actually a tragedy. But for you personally, I talked about it a lot when it was down on this bottom camp, but just a greater ability not a greater ability, just more willingness to read fights as they're happening and kind of change the way you play based on it. So the bottom one in particular, I do think that you should have stayed in in human form for a lot longer, because you sold out pretty hard on the camp by going into dog and then just like forcing into the fight, where if you actually just spent a little bit more time backward and read the fight a little bit differently, I think you could have handily won this exchange down here. The other one was
the missed soak.
Yeah, like there's missed soak.
Knowing when to, I guess, soak versus when to like keep pressing forward.
Yes, but even more so in this early game, I think like I want you to, when you're playing a Greymane like this or any hero for that, any hero at all, read what your opponent's win conditions are, because if I got into this game and I was against a Johanna and a Lily, and I know that they have a strong lane, and I know that we have a way better race, I wouldn't have even been playing close to the aggression that you were playing during the laning phase. I would have just been sitting back, making sure I cleared the wave, making sure I don't go down in structures, and just waiting for that first objective. Because once that first objective comes and they don't find kills, or they don't find a crazy amount of split XP with their Falstad, they lose the game. This is like one of the worst drafts I've ever seen in my life.
I know, it's really upsetting that they won.
And it's just because your team lost, like you got picked often, and you guys were trading into their sustain and their blinds. We had no realistic way of killing them, and it fell behind quite substantially in the early game. Even though we ended up picking up the first Immortal, getting a little bit done. But yeah, I really think that if you read their team comp and played it a little bit differently during the lane, you would have been a lot better off. And I'm not saying you would have won the game because of that, because that's simply not true. But what that shows to me is that you understand how to read what your opponent's win conditions are, and then you change your play style based on it.
I think it's been really helpful, especially on like seeing, I probably should have stayed human form a lot of the times and just maybe waited for the few times that Diablo did get the engage, or just swallowed it and started hitting the Johanna a lot. Because a lot of times Diablo was serving as Johanna on a platter, but in my mind I was like, she's just going to get away. We're not going to have the damage with her blinds to be able to kill her, even though he's shoving her into our 4-man all by her lonesome. I chose to not necessarily like follow up with a lot of those times he was doing that.
And like, you're absolutely right. How does Falstad and Sylvanas ever kill you? They don't. You know, if the team fight ends up being this, I wish I could draw on my screen. Diablo's here, Johanna's here, their backline's here, our backline's here, and we're just like fighting like this, and you are attacking their Johanna, they can never kill you. Ever. But the same can be said, you know, for you on their backline. But if you end up kiting back because the Johanna pushes in, and then all of a sudden, you know, their backline's up here, and then your Diablo finds an angle down here, and then you can engage, like those are good spots. But if all we're doing is just like hard engaging with wolf form right away onto one of their backline targets, they Lily blind you, they Johanna blind you, all of a sudden you're down to 20% health, and then you're like, oh, well, frick. I can't score any kills sort of thing. You try to back away, and then Kerrigan combos you, and then you die. But yeah, so I really do think you would have gained a lot of benefit by playing in human for a bit longer in some of those engages. I'm glad we can agree on that.
Yeah.
Right on.
Well, and then the misjudge of the go for the throw, I think. I don't think that would have changed anything, but it definitely, I thought it would kill her, and then it didn't, and then I got blinded, and then I died.
Blinded by light. Sucks. Yeah, and I love that you say that. It probably wouldn't have changed anything, but it's
still
important. Yeah, because what happens if this exact scenario happens in another game where you getting that kill is the difference between you getting an objective or not? Right? So it's important that you highlight that, even though in this game in particular it's not that important. It's valuable to just go over those kind of mechanical misplays. But yeah, thank you for submitting this one. Really appreciate it. And I know the community does too. We got to go over these games and find out where people make mistakes and how to get better.
I figured I'd pick a wacky one. Also, because this is kind of like the perfect example of Hero League Plat, where these wacky combos come. Lilies are always picked. Brightwings are always picked for some reason. A lot of people don't know how to tank or heal. Everybody wants to be a DPS. So I don't know if, like, for instance, I wish they had shown the draft, because I feel like I struggle a lot in draft, because I don't know what we could have done differently. I'm pretty sure it was Sylve first, and then it was Greymane Zul'jin. Maybe I shouldn't have gone Greymane with the Zul'jin had I known he was just gonna like insta-lock that. Maybe I should have gone like Li Ming just to have something of mage, but they didn't have their blinds yet. But you could have probably predicted 2 auto attackers, and Lily being so popular that she is in Plat, that they would have at least gone Lily, if not also the Johanna, which was their next 2 picks.
This also you could have changed up. You could have gone
what
Q build.
What do you recommend?
Well, if
because of all the blinds to switch to a Q build?
Exactly.
Oh, that would probably make a lot of sense. I was still going my normal Greymane build and assuming that we would win races on the Immortals more.
Yeah, I definitely think that you should have changed up your build based on what they had. If I saw the Johanna and the Lilia, I'd be like, well, I'm never getting in an auto attack in my entire life. And yeah, just would have gone Q build there, because you were saying the Li Ming for poke damage, and what pokes best with Greymane, it's that Q build. But I absolutely agree. That's something that you should have, like, if you ended up going the Greymane, which you did, I think going Q build would have been way better.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for all the coaching. Appreciate it. It was very helpful. I hope it helped others too.
Yay. No, thank you so much for submitting and taking the time to be with me on this beautiful Sunday day. But no, cheers. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Bye.
Well, if you're